Hey there, I'm David.
And I'm Angelique.
And we are
Adventures on Deck.
And so we just got off the Carnival Breeze last week, and so we had such an amazing time there and loved everything. So this is now day 2 of our trip. We're going to go into everything that happened that day and all the fun that we had on board. Here we go. Okay, so day 2, Carnival Breeze. This was our first sea day. It was a lot of fun. So the kids really loved it. We had a great time. We started off by waking up. They slept in a little bit. We went to brunch, though, in the main dining room and had a great time there, right?
And they were so accommodating because we asked them specifically for a table in the back with a window, explaining it's their first, cruise, first experience. So they thought it was really, really neat that we got to see, the back of the ship and the water as we're eating. It was really nice.
Yeah, and we talked about the first day, if you watched our last video, about how shaky the Carnival Breeze was that first night, that whole first day, really. It wasn't as bad the second day, still more movement than we're typically used to feeling, but it wasn't bad at all. But it definitely was moving a bit more. In the main dining room, you could tell.
Yeah, you could feel it.
Yeah,
You could
more than
feel
the
it's
Vista
like
was
the
for sure.
ground, the floor was shaking a little bit. Like you could feel the vibrations from the ship, but I mean, it didn't take away from the experience at all. So for brunch, we had to get the French toast. He got the French toast.
Yep.
And we all kind of got to sample it too because it's so big, you can't finish it. I think, I got the seafood tower, which I had been looking at before, but had never been brave enough to try it because he's not a big seafood person. And so if I'm just ordering it by myself, that seemed like the waste, but the kids were going to try things with me. So I think I got the shrimp salad and the ahi tuna and then lox. We had lox with bagels and cream cheese, and that was pretty cool.
Lots of food.
Yes. And then Maurice got the steak and eggs, which is filet mignon and eggs
Right.
and French fries.
And at first he's like, "What do you mean, French fries for breakfast? Like that's kind of weird." And then he tried them and he was like, "Oh, French fries for
That's where it's at.
breakfast." Yeah, so it was kind of funny.
And then Bella got her burger, and so she really liked that. She was
Yeah.
pretty impressed. Everybody was happy with their food.
Yeah, the food was phenomenal.
And then after that, we decided it was time to walk around the ship.
Yeah, so they got to experience the ship. I mean, obviously we've been on multiple cruises before, but this is their first one, and it was our first cruise on the Breeze. So we got to just kind of walk around and explore the ship. It's laid out largely very similar to how the Vista is. They're both very similar. Obviously, the Breeze is a little bit smaller. There's things that are changed a bit. The layout of like the Red Frog pub is a bit different. Some things are a little different. The piano bar is in a different place, and the layout's different. But a lot of the stuff is in a similar area. So if you're familiar with either ship, you'd be able to find your way around the other one fairly easily.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we did that for a bit. Maurice decided he wanted to challenge me in basketball.
And then Bella ended up getting a low blood sugar for a little bit. So her and I took off while you guys were playing. We went down to the Tides bar and got her some juice, which, I mean, everybody's so helpful. They did look at me a little bit strange when I brought a 12-year-old to the bar. But I ordered her an orange juice and it was fine.
Yeah.
But yeah, and, just people commenting there. I know I told you that there was one lady who was excited about celebrating her birthday and she was looking for different drinks. So, of course, a couple people were tossing ideas. And it's just really nice. Just no matter where you are on the ship, there's always somebody that's just happy to be there and ready to talk. Like it's fun. But then we met back up with you after she was feeling better. And we played a game of mini golf. So it was fun though.
It was a lot of fun.
Walking
we did
around
have a lot of
playing
fun.
mini golf
And
on
basketball.
a cruise ship. And basketball
On a cruise ship. So yeah.
And for the record, though, I think my score was still better than Maurice thought it was going to be.
That's true. So anyway, a lot of really cool things happened that we hadn't seen before. One of them was like something that I've been waiting to see for a long time. Before we get into that though, make sure you guys like and subscribe here. We love hearing your comments. We love reading all of that stuff and seeing the feedback from you guys. So thank you guys so much. Again, if you do like this channel, please leave a like on the video. Please subscribe and be notified when we drop new content. Again, we're going over day 2 right now. this is a 5-day cruise. So we're going to have lots of video, lots of pictures.
Plenty more to come.
Right, over the next few days and weeks or so. So make sure you guys stay subscribed so you guys can get all that content. But then we saw one of the coolest things that I've ever seen on a cruise ship.
We actually, and it was just, we were just appreciating the waves, the water, and all of a sudden we looked out and there were dolphins.
Yeah.
And it was really neat because we'd been cruising for the better part of a day at that point, almost a whole 24 hours. And there was this huge pod of baby dolphins.
Yeah, I don't, they seemed like baby dolphins to me, or I don't know if there were some other species of dolphins, a smaller species or something. I don't know what it was. But it definitely looked like dolphins to me. We'll put the video in here so you guys can see here and see if you know what they are. But
they were so playful.
It was really cool.
It was really cool.
So I've been wanting to see that for a really long time. I'm a huge fan of dolphins and the Miami Dolphins, as you can tell from my jersey that I have on right now. But I'm all about dolphins. They're my favorite animal. So seeing those out at sea was really cool. So definitely something I've been trying to see for a long time. We spend a lot of time. Normally we have a balcony cabin. We spend a lot of time looking out the balcony trying to see dolphins and just enjoying the atmosphere out there too, but trying to see wildlife. And we never have before, besides like some really small like kind of fish and that kind of thing. But
fish that were...
yeah, but this is our first time seeing something like this, so it was really, really cool.
It was amazing. So we kind of decided to head inside at that point, and then went to Harry Potter trivia, which I was surprised at the turnout. There were a lot of people ready for trivia. Like the ship on a stick is a real prize to be won.
Spoiler alert, we tried multiple times throughout this ship. We still have not won one. Someday we'll win a ship on a stick. But we're 0 for 3 now.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Cruise. We tried. We did our best. But we had a lot of fun. And then of course trivia happened at Ocean Plaza, which happens to have the milkshake coffee cafe place right there. And so the kids were like, ooh, more food. So Bella went and got a milkshake. Maurice got himself a cappuccino, I think.
Something like that.
And yeah, it was funny because they were so excited that there's something everywhere, something new to try for them.
Yeah.
So we did Harry Potter trivia. We're unsuccessful. And then decided to go get dressed for dinner because we had early reservations. And before dinner, caught the Build-A-Bear workshop. Now, Carnival has partnered with Build-A-Bear, and they even have a Carnival exclusive Build-A-Bear you can only get on their cruise ships, but they don't actually have the whole shop set up in the Carnival Breeze, at least for right now. I don't know if there's plans to do that in the future. But what they do is they have a workshop. And so you meet up there and you are handed a heart as soon as you walk in if you decide that you're going to be purchasing a Carnival bear. And so you go through the heartwarming ceremony where you give life to your Build-A-Bear, your heart.
Yeah.
You bring your heart to life. And there's dancing and singing and all sorts of fun for the kids. And then they get to go up and spend your money and buy a stuffed animal.
Yeah.
Spoiler, both kids came back with Build-A-Bears. The 19-year-old included. He came back with his Build-A-Bear. He was very proud of his Captain Bear. And then we went and dropped them off, the bears, not the kids, dropped them off at the cabin and headed to the steakhouse.
Yeah, so the steakhouse was great. It's a lot of, we don't really spend a lot of time at fancy restaurants, especially with the kids, because there's 4 of them. And so that gets really expensive really quickly. So they haven't really been to fancy restaurants. I think the fanciest restaurant any of them have been to is probably the Cheesecake Factory that Bella went to. The other ones haven't gone to.
Melting Pot.
Right, that's true. Maurice is going to Melting Pot. But yeah, that's about it for them. We've been to some nicer places, but like it's really expensive bringing everyone. So we tend not to do that. But on the cruise ship, obviously, the steakhouse is only $38 per person, which is very reasonable. So we decided to take them to that. and they were just blown away with how fancy it was, and all the protocols and things that happened to make uh, this dinner what it is. They were completely confused at being able to choose your own salts.
Yeah, the box of salt.
To be fair, I was as well. It was very interesting having a box of different salts that you could choose from. I don't know the difference between all of them, so I just went with what the chef recommended because it seemed like a safe bet.
And it was delicious.
I don't think I would have known the difference, to be honest with you, but it is what it is. We had an amazing dinner.
Yeah, and then so we each kind of sampled each other's steaks and stuff, but the real fun came at dessert. So we did something we've seen before on other videos. We've heard about it. And Bella had actually surprised us and told us she had seen a video about it. Maurice was the only one who didn't know what art at the table was all about.
Yeah,
And
we typically don't get it just because I'm not a big dessert person, and so it's not really, it doesn't make a lot of sense for us to get it with the two of us. But because we had the kids there and we knew that they would be interested, I've wanted to see it in person, so I've wanted to do it. But because, like I said, I'm not really into desserts, it didn't make a lot of sense. But it did this time, so of course we had to do it. So we could actually drop the video, or at least part of the video, in to show you guys what art of the table looks like.
yeah.
Okay, next gonna be white chocolate jasmine tea.
Which one is this?
White chocolate.
White chocolate.
Have white chocolate. Okay. Ready to get rice now? Can I break it? Are you ready? 1, 2. Oh! What is inside? This is chocolate markis, okay, that's right. Then I have also ice cream over there. Today I have a sweet coffee ice cream and white chocolate raspberry truffle. Okay, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
So we enjoyed the art of the table, which
Yeah,
was
that-
awesome.
That was so good. But we had to eat and run because right at that, I think we had the 5:30 reservation, 7:15 doors opened for Motor City, which is the first production show that we were going to get to see on the Breeze.
Right.
With this cast and crew. I will say, as far as the production group, it seemed like there were some issues maybe the first on the first night, the Welcome Aboard show. Some issues with mixing and sound or something. It just didn't quite sound right. It seemed like they had it together come the next night for Motor City.
Yeah.
All of that was worked out, and it was a really good show. I liked the show. I missed the Vista cast better.
Yeah, for sure.
But it's not to take anything away from this cast. I mean, they were good. It's just the Vista cast really blew us away.
Yeah, the Vista cast was amazing. Like they're really really good. The Breeze cast again, like they did a really good job as well. But if I had to pick, I would definitely pick the Vista cast. I think they went above and beyond, and their shows were just great shows.
Yeah.
This show though, Motor City, was a really good show. We enjoyed it. There's a lot of music that we knew. The kids didn't know as much of it.
Yeah.
But we got to hear some music that we would listen to. And yeah, had a great time with that.
And then it was time for us to part ways because Maurice had never been to any kind of a comedy show.
Right.
And the performer that night was Valerie Storm, who's phenomenal. Like
She's
she
hilarious.
was hilarious.
Yeah, she's really funny.
But not kid. This was not the kid friendly
Definitely
show.
not kid appropriate.
So right down the hall, and it worked out perfect. Right down the hall, on deck 4 was Circle C, and this is Bella's first time actually getting to attend Circle C. Obviously, first cruise, but she wasn't even really like apprehensive or anything. She was ready. She was
Yeah.
all in. So that was really cool because the kids that had been there seemed like they all kind of knew each other. They'd already been there for a little while. And as soon as she walked in, she made friends and she had a great time. So we dropped her off, went, got seats, had a great time at the comedy show. It did get full really quickly, though.
It did. Yeah, we got there about 30 minutes before showtime, and it was hard to find a seat. It was that full that quick. So if you're going to go to the comedy show on a ship like the Breeze, where I mean, it was a lot of people on that ship, but if you're going to go and your ship's fairly full, I would definitely recommend getting there really early because, like I said, we got there, we knew that, and got there about 30 minutes early, and it was a struggle to find a seat.
Seats, yeah, together. And then I got up, went to the bathroom real quick before the show, came back, and as I'm walking in, I'm hearing them telling people it's just standing room only, standing room only.
Yeah,
you know,
and that was like 15, 20 minutes before showtime still. So yeah, it definitely fills up quick.
But the only other thing I would say about that is if you are in a show like that and you're getting something, I mean, we had the Bubbles package, so we got a couple sodas, I think. But just tip your wait staff. They're working so hard, keeping everybody entertained, trying to get everybody happy and not disrupt the show. So just keep in mind, you know, when you're there and you're enjoying the atmosphere, you're enjoying the performers, whether you're at a show or, you know, the comedy show or the performances, or just take care of your wait staff because they really work hard to make sure that you're enjoying your vacation.
Yeah, and that's a whole nother video to go into tipping protocols and that kind of thing, which maybe we'll do sometime. But you know, you could also make the argument that, well, that's what your 18% gratuity up front's for, to kind of cover that. But we like to, in those situations where they're really working hard, we like to, you know, throw a little extra their way. Again, to each their own, though. If you guys feel like you've already tipped and done your thing, and, you know, do what you feel is best for you. But we like to throw just a little extra in those situations where we feel like they're doing a really good job.
Especially when it's hustling and bustling, and it's just it's a lot of work. So we were very appreciative that they came back to us and were quick and ready to go.
Absolutely. Okay, so that wraps up our first sea day on the Carnival Breeze. We had a great time. It was a lot of fun. Again, got to see a lot of cool things on the ship. And then the kids got to just run around and have fun and be kids and really enjoy themselves. So we had a ton of fun that day.
And dolphins.
And yeah, which is, you can never go wrong with that, right? But then the next day, obviously, is when we get to our first port. So we'll have a whole nother video on that coming up, talking about our entire day at that port. And it was?
Costa Maya.
Costa Maya. So we had a great time there as well. So we'll get into that in the next video. So comment below, though. Let us know what you guys like to do on your sea days. What's your favorite thing to do? What do you do normally on your days at sea? Do you go to sea day brunch? Do you go to the main dining room?
Do you sleep in?
Right. What do you like to do on your sea days? Let us know.
All right. Thank you guys so much for watching. Take care and stick around.
All right. See you guys next time. Bye.
Bye.